We're live. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name's Molly. I'm a co-founder here at EarnBetter. And today I'm excited to be talking with Candise, who recently landed a new job and has used EarnBetter along the way. And so we asked if she would have an informal chat with us to pass along any insights or tips from her job search in case those might be helpful for other job seekers. So that's why we're here today. Candise, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you sharing your story.
Thank you for having me, Molly.
All right. Well, we'll just get into it. Do you mind starting by just sharing a bit about yourself and your job search?
Absolutely. So my name is Candise. I am a wife of 10 years. I am a mother of an 18-year-old son, and I have been in the staffing industry for the past 20 years. And what recently sparked my search was that I was laid off from my last employer. That's never happened to me before. It's my first time ever being laid off from any assignment. And that is what started my search.
Got it. Sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, that is becoming the norm. There's barely anyone I know that hasn't been impacted, but sorry that you went through that. Can you share a little bit about the types of jobs you were looking for and just your overall job search?
Absolutely. So I started out seeking for positions that were in the staffing industry because that's all I knew and was familiar with. And then I had to have a realization with myself, is this something that I want to continue on in my journey? What is it that really interests me? So I decided that I was no longer seeking a position in the staffing industry. And I decided to sit down and say, okay, what are the things you're really great at? And then we can apply that to what is realistically available in the industry. And I came up with a lot of different job searches, but one that really piqued my interest was an onboarding specialist, a remote onboarding specialist position. So someone who just works from home and sends out your onboarding paperwork to you once you have been hired for a job assignment. I was really interested in that because I had done this in the staffing industry, but I did not know how much I enjoyed it until I was seeking for the position online. And so those were the positions that I was looking after, was a remote onboarding specialist position.
Awesome. Also, congrats on kind of making a pivot. I know it's something you had done previously, but there's a lot of people out there that are trying to make kind of career transitions. And I think the way you outlined it was really great. It's let me make a list of what I've done and what I'm good at, and then see what that sort of matches against as far as what's out there in the market. So I love that approach. So how long did it take you to land a new job?
Okay, brace yourself for this. So I was unemployed, seeking employment for 1 year and 3 months.
Wow.
That is the longest time that I'd ever been without income coming into my household. And that was very stressful, but I continued on my journey because I had to. So it took me 1 year and 3 months.
Wow. Yeah, that's a long time. Good for you for staying, motivated and resilient, and proud of you for pushing through that.
Thank you.
What sort of job? You said the job you landed was a remote onboarding specialist. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So I was seeking online, different places, different job boards, and I was just looking for an onboarding hiring specialist. I didn't know that there were different names to this actual position. So I would go in and I would put in onboarding. I would put in onboarding coordinator, onboarding recruiter, HR specialist, just different titles that I could use that I thought employers would be using. And I just stuck with it. For 1 year and 3 months, I just stuck with it. Mind you, I was getting positions that I was not interested in. Sales, because that's part of my background, is sales. And I would get a lot of sales positions, a lot of HR positions. And that is just not what I was going after. I was transitioning into something completely different. So I stuck with the onboarding specialist and onboarding coordinator role. And it lines up with recruitment as well because I'm still helping people. I enjoy helping people. That is what I thrive off of. And so it's still lined up with me being able to help you go through the hiring phase. I'm the next person before you get hired on your start date.
Got it. Makes sense. And you said the role you landed was remote, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Good for you. It's pretty hard to land those these days.
Oh, it's extremely hard. I will tell you, when I was going through the interview process, my employer contacted me and said, Candice, we have went through 300 resumes for this position, and we selected you out of 300 candidates. I said, what? That blew my mind. 300 people had applied at the same time that I was applying, which lets me know that it's so many people out here that are seeking employment for remote positions to work from home. I didn't think it was that many. I thought people still wanted to be, inside of the building in corporate America, but I had no idea that it would be 300 for one position. So you're fighting, with a lot of other candidates. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
you have to stay motivated.
And the market's really competitive, especially for remote, because there's fewer remote jobs, but there's more people interested in them. So
It is.
yeah, well, good for you. Congrats.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about any of the tools or resources that you used during your job search?
Yes, I can. And I can tell you that none of them worked until I found EarnBetter. So I will be completely honest with you. I have used Indeed. I went back to Monster because that was one of the people that were available when I started employment years ago. So I also used Career Builder, LinkedIn. What is the other ones? Zip Recruiter. I utilized just about every job board that there was online, and I was not getting any luck with I wasn't getting anywhere with any of them. However, I would get positions that I was no longer interested in, such as sales. But I had to stick to my gut, and I knew what I wanted, and I wasn't going to deviate from it. And someone introduced me to EarnBetter. And when I was introduced, I found out that there is no other job board listing in the market like EarnBetter. It doesn't exist. I believe it's a hidden gem that the entire country needs to know about. And I landed on your website, and I absolutely fell in love.
Wow.
It was my magic key that I was needing. It was the magic key.
I love to hear that. Thank you for sharing. Was there anything particularly helpful or any of the features or services that you'd recommend?
Everything. Everything. And I'm sorry for the noise. It's my little dog running around, but everything. The one feature that I loved the most, that would be at the top of my list, was how I was able to change my resume based on each position that I was applying for. There was an option. So I uploaded my resume, and EarnBetter took care of the rest. If I desired for this particular job description to be changed, EarnBetter would do that for me. If I wanted to keep it the same, and then there were options based on what I preferred and what I generally loved. If I loved that answer, they would change it for me. If I did not, I could keep it the same. My job title, as far as the my job seek, my objective on my resume. If I wanted that to be changed to reflect the position that I was applying for, or any skills that needed to be added to my resume, I just really loved how it assisted me with adjusting my resume based on the position that I was applying for. That is, no other company is doing that. No other company. And I'm so grateful. Whoever came up with that idea, kudos to you. I'm so grateful.
I'm
Yes.
glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we just wanted to create tools that could help job seekers. And there's a lot of like menial, tedious tasks in the job search, like
Yes.
customizing your resume for every job you apply for can take a ton of time. So wanted to do something that could help save job seekers time and then also help them stand out during the application process. So I'm glad that you enjoyed that tool.
You know what else? It's AI friendly. So where my resume would be placed up against another candidate's resume who has not utilized your services, my resume is customized based on that particular job. And so the employer will look at mine because I will have all of those key words in my resume versus the next candidate. So it
Mhm.
was really AI generated, which was perfect for me.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, and again, congrats on landing the new role. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
And you touched on this a little bit, but the job search can be grueling. There's a lot of people who have been looking for a long time. How did you stay motivated?
Whew. So I stay motivated through career. I also stayed motivated with the people that I talk to. I had to make up a decision in my mind that I would not deviate from what it was that I wanted. I had a lot of people to tell me that, Candice, you should just give up looking for a remote position. You should just go back into sales, or you should go back into recruitment. And I would always say, no, this job is out there. They are looking for me. I encourage myself daily. This company is looking for me just as much as I am looking for them. And every no is going to lead me to my yes. And one day I'm going to receive that position that I've been looking for, and it is going to be worth my wildest dreams. And it came in a twinkling of an eye. It came. I continued. I was persistent. I applied. Sometimes it would be 8 hours a day. I would be seeking for employment. I just would not give up because I knew that there were other candidates out here seeking employment just as much as I was. But what makes me different from anyone else was the length of time that I put in seeking for employment, along with keeping myself motivated when I wanted to do other things. So,
Hmm.
and
Well,
I
good for
stayed on the
you.
fight. Yes, thank you.
Kudos. And yeah, important. You got to be your, own cheerleader. And I'm
Yes,
proud of you for kind of sticking with what you were looking for.
absolutely.
Because if you just take any job and it's not what you're looking for, you could be in this position 6 months down the line. So I think that was a good choice on your part.
That's what I told myself, Molly. I would tell myself, Candace, if you go back into another sales role, you're going to be sad, you're going to be miserable, and you're going to find yourself looking again. I don't want to look again. I wanted a career. I wanted somewhere where I can just rip my resume up and say, this is it. I'm done. I finally arrived.
I
And
love it.
that's what I looked for. And that's what kept me motivated.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
And then last one, any other tips or advice for people who are on the job search?
Absolutely. I would say start with knowing exactly what it is that you are seeking. Know the roles that fit you, what's best for you. You have to have an idea of what it is that you're looking for. Otherwise, you would just be going after positions based on the pay. You have to be excited and motivated about the job that you're seeking. Um, Also, make sure you stick to, I wouldn't say one website. EarnBetter worked best for me because they worked around my resume and they was able to adjust everything that I needed. So I stuck with EarnBetter. Actually, I deleted all of the other career sites off my timeline. And then I kept myself active. I followed up with companies. I wanted to learn about that company as well. So if I received a call, I knew about your company. Also, go to key when you're looking for the position online and they have the job description up. Make sure you read those job descriptions and make sure you read the must-haves so you don't waste your time. Read the must-haves and read the job description. Everything else about the company you can go back and read it, but you want to make sure, okay, yeah, I qualify. If not, you're going to spend time looking at hundreds of jobs that you don't qualify for.
Yeah, exactly. And it's already such a time-consuming process. So do
Absolutely.
yourself a favor and self-select out of stuff that you're not interested in
Correct.
and not qualified for.
Absolutely. And stay motivated every day. Just stay motivated. If no one is going to encourage you, encourage yourself. You have to stay motivated, and you have to believe that you can receive that position. If I received it in 1 year and 3 months, you can receive it as well.
I love that. Thank you. Any other parting words or anything else you'd like to say before we call it?
Absolutely. Consistency is key.
Love it. That's
Consistency
great.
is key. Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Candice. We appreciate your time today and
Thank you.
hope the new role goes really well.